Thank you, everyone. Before I open it up for Q&A, I'd like to pass the mic to someone from our audience who's visiting from Boise. You can hear this one.
I'm just going to read a statement. We're coming from Boise, Idaho right now. We're an autonomous organizers representing our Solidarity encampment on occupied land of Shoshone-Bannock peoples. We call ourselves the People's Liberated University for a Free Palestine. And I want to thank these organizers for the mic and for all of you being in attendance. I'm going to read this as quick as possible. As of today, we have been occupying the state capitol lawn for 112 days straight. We've endured 20 plus raids by Idaho State Police, top to bottom. As of a few weeks ago, we have won legal protections against these unlawful raids. Occupying for Gaza and Palestine in Boise has never been as safe as it is today. The PLU stands for Liberation of Palestine and all oppressed peoples globally. We stand in solidarity with all forms of resistance against imperialism, capitalism, and state oppression. We work from a mindset of mutual aid. We have hosted over 75 educational teach-ins and hold weekly grief and rage circles for locals to process in community the genocide we're witnessing and the police violence we have endured on the lawn so far. We have autonomous meal makers feeding us hot meals 3 times a day since May 3rd. The local Palestinian population is small yet vocal, and we give space for their voices to be heard in the state of Idaho. For context, Idaho is the hotbed of white supremacist Nazis and Christian Zionists and a testing ground for repressive legislation nationwide. This encampment has changed Boise forever. Not only are we educating and making space for our local community, but we continue weekly with food distro for our unhoused neighbors, hold space for them to sleep, and have opened a second free community refrigerator locally thanks to the increased interest in mutual aid in Idaho. Our encampment is unique in the way that we were entirely prevented from establishing on the lawn of Boise State University, our local college. Because of a leak and a violent doxing of an organizer the morning of our first march, the school militarized and emptied the campus of all witnesses while deploying snipers on roofs pointed at our intended location. We chose to pivot to state property instead and set up outside of the Idaho Capitol building as students and community members from all walks of life. The Idaho State Police and the Idaho Department of Administration has tried to squash our camp through continued theft of property, psychological violence, unlawful arrests, and felony charges, including large lawsuits as well. One of our comrades has been targeted and is fighting felony malicious harassment charges for chanting in the streets downtown. Idaho Department of Administration believe that calling for an end of genocide publicly is a hate crime worthy of criminalizing with jail time. We are tired. We are here in Chicago to make our encampment known. We ask you to find our Instagram and share it widely. We ask you to use your organizations and media connections to make one of the last and longest standing solidarity encampments known nationally. We desperately need refreshed energy. Just spending 2 days in this beautiful city of Chicago, we have recognized the continuities in erasure, ignorance, and police violence. Everything spoken about on this panel, we are still actively enduring. We are working class people coming from all backgrounds, including local students from a variety of colleges and universities. We want to shout out our own local Palestinian voices in Idaho who call themselves Boise to Palestine. And we are proud to be representing the People's Liberated University and Boise to Palestine in Chicago today. We are your comrades and in solidarity with all you do here. And we ask you to be in solidarity with us with what you can offer. Come to Boise, witness us, help us make the PLU a national conversation. Solidarity, Palestinian solidarity exists everywhere, and even more uniquely so in the heart of the empire in rural America. And personally, I would like to add that all of these lessons that this panel has discussed, we have also experienced. We only felt safe to begin the occupation because we were successfully able to call together a dozen local organizations to mobilize. All we asked was that each org dropped their own flags and picked up a Palestinian flag, something we have never seen happen in Boise and are proud to have found ourselves in solidarity with so many different organizations willing to do that for Palestine. The interpersonal dramas and mediations have been abundant, and the relationships forged through hard conversations and learning will be lifelong. We refuse to identify leaders of this movement, as all action has been entirely autonomous, and we work daily against the cops in our heads and hierarchies of all kinds. We have welcomed brand new activists that have spent their entire summer in this liberatory space, and we are proud of what we have done with our short time so far and look forward to seeing what these new comrades do in their future. Without Boise's strong mutual aid networks, birthed from the pandemic and national 2020 uprisings, we could not have successfully held our ground for as long as we have. And we will continue to occupy Boise State Capitol until Palestine is free. Please find us later and connect. We want to share and collaborate with all of you. We need you right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Since we're a little over time, I just want to get a pulse check from the audience if there are questions. Yeah, so we'll take 2 questions, maybe 3 at a time.